This video will show you how to upload the new Webpages feature onto an SF3050 receiver and use each web page to send and receive GNSS data. Webpages are located in the NavCom folder on the SF3050 product configuration USB flash drive and are uploaded onto the SF3050 receiver using StarUtil. Please note that while web server pages can be viewed using several different browsers, best results are obtained using either Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome. Also, it is recommended that you save the IP address to either your bookmarks or to your favorites. Before you begin, make sure you update the firmware in your SF3050. Version 3.310.0 or later is required for Webpages feature. In order to determine your receiver's IP address, locate the input terminal screen and type in the ethconfig command. If you need additional information about the ethconfig command, please see the video on StarUtil connecting to a receiver and setting up Ethernet. Next, you will want to format the internal memory of your receiver by entering the sfformat_a default command into the input terminal screen. To load the Webpages files, select the Receiver Options tab on the left side of the screen under Detailed Views. Then in the File Upload section, select the Webpage Loader button. This will open a Load Receiver Webpages window where you want to click on the Browse button. On the Windows Explorer window, locate the Solaris Webpages v3.3.x/nct file on the USB flash drive. Once you locate the NCT folder, click the OK button. Once the NCT directory is displayed in the directory field on the Load Receiver Webpages window, select the Load button. This NCT directory contains all the web pages. Loading it will automatically load all the web page files. Once you load the NCT directory, go to the input terminal and enter the command webcontrol-enable.nct. This will ensure that the web pages in the NCT directory are enabled. Back on your web browser, enter your receiver's IP address from the input terminal into the address box on the browser page and press Enter. You will see a security screen asking for a username and password for your receiver. By default, the username and password are both set to admin. The first screen to appear is the welcome page. Here you are shown your receiver's serial number, version and installation date of the firmware, and version of Bluetooth. At the top of the screen is a receiver location bar. This bar displays the current position and status of the receiver and is continually updated as new information is received from the satellites. This bar appears at the top of every web page. To the far right of the receiver location bar is a Log Out button. This button will allow you to close out the web page feature without having to exit the browser, log out of one username and log in with another, and access another internet web page while the web server web page is still active. On the left side of the screen is the main menu. Here you are given links to the web pages available on the web server. These web pages are organized into 3 drop-down lists: Messages, Configuration, and Utility. Under the Messages drop-down list is the PVT Data button. Clicking on this button will bring up the PVT Data screen, where you are given a quick view of the receiver's current position, velocity, estimated error, navigation status, antenna offset, and solid earth tide. Below this is the Channel Status button. This will bring up the Channel Status screen, which provides an instantaneous diagnosis of signal quality and performance for tracked satellites in the GPS, GLONASS, and SBAS constellations. Data is displayed in each channel on the GPS, GLONASS, and SBAS windows, and differences between the constellations are identified. The next web page is Measurements. This screen shows the MEAS1B output stream from the receiver, which contains raw measurement data collected from the receiver's tracking channels. Measurements are tracked from both the GPS SBAS constellation and the GLONASS constellation. Raw measurements can be post-processed to achieve precise point positions. Normally, the SF3050 receiver locates and tracks SBAS satellites at runtime, periodically building a list of the satellites that will contribute to the navigation solution. However, a user can create a fixed list of SBAS satellites to track. Creating a list that does not contain any visible satellites disables the use of SBAS corrections in the navigation solution. Below the Measurements button is a Starfire Status button. Clicking on this will bring up the Starfire Status screen, where you are shown the Starfire Status 1B message. This message tracks the status of each of the Starfire satellite signals. Below this is the Starfire Almanac, which outputs the Starfire over-the-air almanac that is currently in use. Next is NMEA View. Please note that the Starfire 3050 does not output NMEA messages by default. They must be scheduled by the user using the Schedule Messages page located on the Configuration tab. Clicking the Enable box beside the desired NMEA message under the Sentence ID column will show the message output. The format of the message will appear under the Sentence Contents column. Below this is the Skyplot button. This tab displays the tracked satellite locations for each visible constellation. It provides an interface to select the constellations to be displayed. Each satellite is displayed on the Skyplot by color and PRN. Moving over a satellite with the cursor will create a pop-up window showing the PRN number, elevation, and azimuth. Under the Configuration drop-down menu is the Schedule Messages button. This screen allows you to individually schedule output messages by highlighting the desired message and selecting a port and rate of the output. The scheduling process is completed by selecting either Schedule Messages, Clear Messages, or Query All Messages. Below this is the ntrip config button. This screen configures the information that the ntrip client or server needs to connect to an ntrip caster. If no configuration information is specified, then the current settings will be displayed. The Starfire Settings button will automatically configure the ntrip Starfire network caster. You can also click the Send ntrip config button to enable the settings, or click the Refresh Current button to return to the previous settings. Next is Navigation Modes. This screen provides access to the navigation mode settings for RTCM code, SBAS, and Starfire. Click on the Apply Navigation Settings to the Receiver button to enable the settings. Below this is the RTK Mode button. This screen allows you to configure the RTK mode as either a base or rover. Click Set RTK Mode to change the settings, or click Refresh Current to return to the current settings. Next is the Self-Survey button. This command performs a self-survey operation by averaging the GPS receiver's position over time and then applying that average position as the reference station position. The user can set the duration of the survey in minutes, then click on the Start button to begin the survey. If you would like to stop the survey at any time, you can press the Stop Apply button to end the survey, or press the Cancel Discard button to stop the survey and eliminate any results. After the self-survey is complete, it is important that you save the current profile. If the receiver reboots without saving the profile, then the self-survey position will be lost. Below this is the Antenna button. This screen displays the appropriate bias adjustment values for the antenna model in use. The last drop-down list is Utility. Under Utility is the View Load Profile button. The View Load Profile screen is where you can access up to 20 stored user profiles. Each user profile is stored with a name and contains a complete set of user control configuration parameters. A profile can be selected from a profile list or retrieved from a computer file using the Choose File button. Once selected, a profile can be saved, used, or deleted. A profile can also be saved to a browser file by clicking on the Save to File link. Please note that the Save to File link is only available in Firefox and Chrome browsers. This function will not work in Internet Explorer. Below this is the Firmware Update button. This screen allows your receiver's firmware to be updated by uploading the most current version from an external file such as a USB drive. Click on the Choose File button to select the desired file, then click on the Start Firmware Update button to initiate the upload process. The progress of the upload will appear in the Firmware Update Status section. Below this is the Data Logging button. This feature allows data to be logged into one of two memory drives, either internal memory drive A or an external USB memory device drive B. Next is the Almanac Loader. Here the user can click on the Choose File button to select a file from the desired directory. Click Inject to install the Almanac in the receiver memory. The current GPS or GLONASS almanacs can be downloaded by clicking on the appropriate Save Open Current Almanac links. Below this is the Options and License button. This screen lists the software options loaded into the receiver and the status of the primary and secondary license. It is also possible for the user to upload current licensed software as well as other software options by using the File Upload feature. Next is the Change Password button. This screen allows you to change the password of the current user account. Please remember that both usernames and passwords are case sensitive. If you click on the Manage Accounts button, you can add, remove, and update usernames, access levels, and passwords, including changing the username and password of the default user account. There are 3 levels of user access: User, Tech, and Admin. The user level is able to view all web pages with the exception of the input terminal and the Manage Account screens. Tech level accounts have the same access as user accounts, but can also view the input terminal. Admin level accounts are able to view all pages and modify other user accounts. The default user account automatically has admin level access. This administrator account cannot be deleted or given a different access level. By default, there is automatically one account. Up to 8 additional accounts can be created consisting of user and tech level access. Only one admin level account is allowed. The default admin account programmed into the receiver is stored in the NVRAM but not stored in the profile. With the exception of the admin account, all accounts must have their information updated using Webpages. Below the drop-down list is the Input Terminal button. This screen provides a text box for the input of NavCom proprietary commands and queries. The Help function provides links to resources that can be useful in using the SF3050 Webpages.